China Current is a weekly news talk show from China to the world. We cover viral news about China every week and also give you the newest updates on China's cutting-edge technologies. Let's get started.
Welcome to China Current, your weekly news report on what's happening in China. I'm Lisa. In this episode, the Pentagon lost a lawsuit to a Chinese company. The US Navy encountered Chinese vessels on Pacific patrol. Chinese warship exercised their right to freedom of navigation in the English Channel. A Japanese veteran from Unit 731 came to China to offer an apology. German automakers are increasing their investment in China, despite opposition from the government. First, let's focus on a lawsuit. On the 12th of August, the Pentagon backed down in the face of legal action from a Chinese company, Hesai Technology, which specialized in producing LiDAR, a crucial component for self-driving cars. It is headquartered in Shanghai and listed on Nasdaq. In January of this year, the US Department of Defense added Hesai Technology along with 45 other Chinese companies to its blacklist, labeling them as Chinese military companies, which means Hesai was accused by the US government for being owned or cooperating with the Chinese military, restricting American investors from buying its shares. In response, Hesai Technology filed a lawsuit against the Pentagon in May. The company argued that there was no evidence linking it to China's military and called the Pentagon's decision to be arbitrary and capricious. Hesai has requested a federal court in Washington to issue a summary judgment, with a hearing scheduled in September. According to a report from the Financial Times, the US government lawyers were concerned that the justification for blacklisting Hesai wouldn't withstand legal scrutiny under the 2021 legislation. Simply saying Hesai was affiliated and engaged in research partnership with the Chinese Ministry of Industry and Information Technology wasn't enough to meet the legal requirements. Hesai responded that the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology was akin to a US regulatory agency. In fact, the department is mainly responsible for implementing policies in the fields such as postal service, internet, wireless, broadcasting, etc. If the Pentagon identified this department as a military office, they will need to similarly classify the Department of Commerce to be consistent. In the light of these concerns, the Pentagon has now decided to remove Hesai from its blacklist, acknowledging that it does not meet the legal criteria for inclusion. The Biden administration has consistently scrutinized the data security of Chinese high-tech products. However, Hesai has maintained that its products are strictly for commercial and civilian use, a claim supported by its partnership with US technology giants. Notably, ZooX, an autonomous robot taxi company acquired by Amazon for over $1 billion, has a publicly known partnership with Hesai. A new Forbes legal survey revealed that 93% of Americans have concerns about self-driving cars, particularly with regards to safety. LiDARs, which use laser beams to measure the distance of objects around vehicles, can significantly provide more safety protection for pedestrians and drivers than pure vision sensor solutions. It was dismissed by Elon Musk in 2019 because of the high cost of production. But now, with the considerable needs generated by Chinese EV makers, the rapid expansion of the LiDAR industry has greatly spread the research and development cost. The price of LiDAR sensors have dropped from thousands of dollars over the past few years to several $100s. According to industry research firm Euler Group, more than 70% of the world's automakers are now choosing to collaborate with Hesai in developing self-driving cars. Among the world's 8 major robot taxi companies, 4 are from the United States, including Tesla, GM, Ford, and AutoX, all of which have partnered with Hesai in manufacturing or R&D. The global robot taxi market is projected to reach $45 billion by 2030, offering significant opportunities for American investors. However, the Pentagon's previous blacklisting of Hesai created risk for companies and its partners, even threatening to deter American investments. The Financial Times pointed out it is an embarrassing setback for the US government. But in fact, it is not the first time that the US government has faced such a situation. In 2021, the Pentagon similarly removed Chinese smartphone maker Xiaomi from its blacklist after Xiaomi sued, arguing the blacklisting was unconstitutional. In other related developments, the Biden administration recently decided to delay the increased tariff on Chinese imports, originally set for August 1st, has further underscored concern about the impact on American businesses. The delay had been met with positive reaction from China, with the Chinese embassy in Washington stating they're pleased to see US correcting discriminatory practice and providing a fair, just, and non-discriminatory business environment for Chinese companies. The news outlet Global Times said the delay indicated the irreplaceability of Chinese technologies. However, American intelligence expert James Mullivan cautioned that Congress may soon update 2021 law, potentially allowing the Pentagon to re-blacklist Hesai. While in Germany, when a government has taken a less than friendly stance towards China, companies have consistently made more rational business decisions. According to Financial Times report on the 13th of August, despite calls for caution from the German government regarding investment in China, German capital had been flowing into the country at a record-breaking pace. This year, investment has surged beyond all expectations, exceeding the total of previous years in just first half alone. Data from the German central bank paints a stark picture of this economic trend. German direct investment in China skyrocketed to $2.71 billion in the first quarter of the year. The figure nearly doubled to a remarkable $5.25 billion in the second quarter. This staggering growth resulted in a cumulative investment of approximately $8.96 billion for the first half of this year, significantly exceeding the total investment for the entire previous year. Just a year ago, the Scholz administration urged caution in trading relations with China, emphasizing the need to mitigate risk by diversifying supply chains. Despite these governmental concerns about geopolitical uncertainties, German automotive giants remained undeterred, leading in the charge in investing in China. Analysts like Daniel Rose from Rhodium Group predicts this fervent investment trend will continue throughout the year. Moving on, in a story reported by Newsweek on 12th of August, it has come to light that a US Navy destroyer, USS Rafael Peralta, had a close encounter with Chinese naval ships while on patrol in the Western Pacific last month. What's interesting is that the Peralta's official page on Facebook said it protected Guam during Chinese and Russian deployments in the area, but later the reference was quietly deleted. The USS Rafael Peralta, one of the 9 Ali Brooke-class destroyers based in Japan, is part of the 7th Fleet's Principal Service Force in Western Pacific and Indian Oceans. This encounter followed a significant 2-week joint naval patrol by China and Russia. While neither nation disclosed the precise route, they hinted that it covered parts of the Western and Northern Pacific Ocean, stretching over 4,800 nautical miles, suggesting that their fleet may have ventured close to Guam, a US territory with high strategic importance. Commander Megan Green, a spokesperson for the US 7th Fleet, has previously emphasized Guam's crucial role in maintaining American influence in the Western Pacific. The island houses 3 major military bases, air forces, Navy, and Marine Corps, and sits just 1,500 to 1,700 miles from Taiwan Island. Guam's strategic significance has been evident throughout history, particularly during the first Taiwan Strait crisis in the 1950s. President Dwight Eisenhower deployed the 7th Fleet to the region, intervening in China's internal affairs. Since then, to interfere with the reunification of mainland China and Taiwan, the 7th Fleet aircraft carriers have twice sailed through the Taiwan Strait. Washington refers to these actions as routine freedom of navigation operations, demonstrating American power in the region. But regarding the encounter between the Chinese and US Navy last month, Megan Green said China and Russia are authorized in accordance with customary international law and conduct operation in international airspace and international waters. She also stated the encounter was safe and professional. On a similar note, let's turn to the British Royal Navy. On the 10th of August, 2 Chinese warships traversed the English Channel for the second time in just 3 weeks. UK Armed Forces Minister Luke Pollard emphasized that the Royal Navy closely monitored the situation, ensuring the US remain, in his words, secure at home and strong aboard. However, Indian media outlet The Eurasian Times highlighted a significant disparity, noting that while Chinese warships flexed their muscles in the English channels, the UK could only deploy a ship on the verge of retirement. The ship was in fact the HMS Richmond, a 4,000-ton frigate that has been in service for nearly 30 years. In contrast, the 2 Chinese warships, exceeding 30,000 tons totally, have been in service for less than a decade. This raised questions about the UK's military capability. It is not the first time the HMS Richmond has encountered the Chinese Navy. Back in 2021, the same vessel navigated in the Taiwan Strait, a move profoundly displayed by the British Navy on social media. Now, just 3 years later, the ships met once again in the English Channel. Next up, a Japanese veteran has found the courage to stand up and acknowledge the war crimes committed by Unit 731. On the 13th of August, Shimizu Hideo, a former member of Japanese Biological Warfare Unit 731, went to China to express his apology. He was conscripted into Unit 731 at the age of 14 in 1945 and remained there until Japan's unconditional surrender a few months later. Upon his return to Japan, Shimizu was instructed to keep his involvement with the Unit 731 a secret. During his recent visit, Shimizu visited the former site of Unit 731 in Harbin. It is now an expedition hall displaying evidence of the war crimes committed by the unit. He recalled witnessing various specimens such as pregnant women and babies soaked in formalin. Shimizu bowed multiple times in front of a monument, expressing his deepest condolences to the victims. At the site, he offered a sincere apology and repentance to the Chinese people. According to Nanjing Daily, Unit 731 was responsible for the murders of over 200,000 Chinese civilians. According to Heckerton International, an American journal of medical, at least 300,000 people died of infectious disease resulting from the work of Unit 731 and its associated laboratories. Apart from China, the victims were from countries including Russia, Korea, the Philippines, and Indonesia. While individuals like Shimizu are actively seeking to apologize for Japanese war crime atrocities, the nation's leader continues to face criticism for its reluctance to fully acknowledge the past. On the 15th of August, Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida included a symbolic donation to the Yasukuni Shrine, reignited debate about Japan's accountability for its war crime actions. This shrine honors numerous Japanese war criminals from World War II, including figures like Isoroku Yamamoto, the Japanese officer who commanded the attack on Pearl Harbor, and Masaharu Homma, responsible for the massacre of 30,000 American prisoners of war in the Philippines. And that is all for today. Thank you for watching this episode of China Current. If you have any thoughts or comments about our show, please reach us at the email address below. We look forward to hearing from you and see you next time.